give you like a assistance card. You get a
Oh, wow.
card to purchase food. They'll give you that as an
Oh,
additional assistance,
they try
and
to
you
do that
can
over
work.
here.
It's based on your income. So if you're making 10,000 a year, and they feel that, hey, you need to have an added increase in food, so we're going to give you this card, and you can go in and you can use this card to buy only food, nothing else.
Yeah, I was gonna say only food. And see that they tried to do that over here, and there was uproar because people are like, "No, you can't tell people what they can spend their money on, or that they have to only buy food." I'm thinking, yeah, but if that's what you need, why are you worried about getting the money equivalent? You need the food, so just go in there, get the food amount to that money, and just pay for it with the card or the coupon or whatever it is you're getting. See, this is how you know people don't want to buy food, especially when you're an alcoholic or when you're a drug addict. You ain't interested in food, innit? So they were like, well, you shouldn't be giving people that are drug addicts and alcoholics benefits. But that's what they tried to do. They tried to say, and then they used to say, if you're overweight, we're gonna stop your benefits. If you're an alcoholic or a drug addict, we're gonna stop your benefits because we know that's what you're spending it on. Obviously, that didn't go down well. That didn't work. But did you see the things that they've tried to do to people over the years? These people, especially if you're a drug addict or an alcoholic, you're in a lot of stress already, and they're trying to cut your little money that you're getting. That if you are trying to get over your problems, maybe the only thing that helps you get food when you feel like eating every now and again. Otherwise, you're going to go out and steal, innit? And if you're a drug addict or thing, you might be stealing anyway.
Well,
So you don't want to make your life worse.
if you're having problems like that, I mean, there are some of those things. To me, the person. I think you need to, if you're trying to get help, it's different. But if you're not trying to get help and you are using the money to buy, a liter of alcohol every week instead of buying cheese for your kids, then I got a problem with that. I don't want you to have it, but I can't tell you can't tell who's doing what.
Exactly, and that's the problem that the public was saying. Well, listen, you can't lump everyone in on that same premise that they're all thinking the same way just because they have issues, whether it be with drink, with drugs, whatever it might be. You can't just lump them all in and say, yeah, well, you are this and like you said, somebody might be really struggling trying to get help, and that little money. Even in their befuddled brain, if you want to put it like that, when they're going through their little addiction, they might still be trying to do the right thing if they have children or something. They still want to feed their kids or whatever, and you just think you can't just say everybody's the same, because they're not. Obviously, the only way we're all the same is that we're all human and we're all struggling, and it seems that money, for some very strange reason, is very hard to come by when you're on a lower income and you're, in that stratosphere. So basically, the divide between the rich and the poor is continuously getting bigger.
Right, and it would be different if, just say, even back in the days of kings and queens, the king didn't say, I'm going to take all the gold and give it to all the people, and I'm going to move all the people into the castle and make sure that everybody has a great balanced lifestyle. The king was the king, and the queen, and everybody got benefits from being in the royal family. And they didn't pass those benefits down to, quote, the peasants. They, just their big thing was, we're going to protect you and we're going to keep people from coming in and pillaging and taking from you because I'm the king and now my job is to protect you, which goes back to what you said about how things are done with the economies now. They have, if there's some war or they want to go bomb something, they'll find the money to make sure they replace the bombs they need to replace.
Oh yeah, they always got money for their war. I mean, he was George Osborne. People, you know who he is now. I'm sure you know who he is by now because I've been naming and shaming him. I've been naming and shaming him for so long. He was urged to stop the tax credit cuts on the lowest earners and it was like the House of Lords got on his case. His MPs in his own party got on his case. So he was like, okay, I'm going to have to rethink this because if I try and do this in there, they probably boo me.
Too much heat.
Out. Yeah, too much heat. So it's like, okay, because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if the UK government doesn't stop doing this, right, the attack, as we're calling it, on lower earners, I ain't being funny, right, it's like it's happening more and more. And you see what happens. You know what we talk about when we say the domino effect. The more you cut somebody's money and ways of earning money, you're causing them so much problems because they become homeless. And then, it just spirals down. And then the children, if they've got any kids, the kids start suffering. And then they end up either going into care. I mean, I can talk about that. I know because I've been in care. So it's not no joke. It ain't fun. Okay. And you are going to get, or the children are going to get left to their own devices. If they've got siblings, they may get separated. I mean, it's a knock-on effect of living in poverty and not having anyone to help you, and just going, you can sink further and further, into decline. That's not fun. Who wants to do that? And all because what? You didn't have enough money. All because the job you had wasn't paying enough. All because the little money that the government finally gave you with one hand, they ripped it out of your hand with the other. Come on. And
well, 7 the thing that's different here on our side, when they give you assistance cards for food, everything is barcoded now.
Okay.
And so you go to a grocery store, you go to a 7-Eleven, or which is a convenience store, down the block, or you go to a big grocer. Everything has a computer code on it. So when you go to buy something, if you try to use your assistance money to go buy some beer, it won't allow you to buy it. It won't let that happen. It'll let you buy any food, any crackers, and it won't even let you buy some things that it considers to be not nutritious for your children.
Really?
It will. Those barcodes are all in a position of where it says, "Hey, okay, you've bought $96 worth of things that you can get with this card, but there are 17 other dollars that you got to pay some other way." And so if you
use the card for it and it's refusing.
Well, you can't pay with it. So those items that are on there, you either have to put them back, or you need to pay cash for them.
Yeah, or something, or use another card. Oh, that's okay.
And so in the UK, they give you the actual money. It's not that they say, here's a card to buy it. They give you the money.
They were trying to bring that in, but too much people was kicking up a drama on it and kicking up a stink, so they had to forget that idea. Because they were like, you ain't going to tell me what I'm spending my little money on. No. They tried to do that. I do remember that. They were thinking, we're going to either give you a card or we're going to give you vouchers or something like that. And then this is how you can go in and buy food, but you're not allowed to buy no alcohol. You're not allowed to buy cigarettes. That's what they were trying to tell people, because they said, all these single mothers and that, some of them, they were like, you don't want to buy cigarettes and your beer and you don't want to feed your kids. And I'm like, how do you know that? How are you going to tell everybody to say that?
I'm really torn on that, because I don't think that you can lump everybody together. So I'm fair with that. But there are people, and that's what causes the problem. The people that abuse systems cause problems for everybody else.
They do.
That's the problem with me.
People, that's a thing we have to ask you right there. What do you think on that point that K-Rose just made? At Ask-Avani-Show, come and tell us. We know you're out there listening and you want to let us know. Oh my gosh.
It's just that way. We run into it on almost everything that happens. The people that are, but sometimes the squeaky wheel gets heard, and sometimes you need to be the squeaky wheel to get heard.
Well, I'm definitely squeaky.
Oh, I am too.
It's not proper squeaky. I remember I told you one of my nicknames used to be hamster. Somebody called me that years ago. It didn't stick.
Hamster?
Yeah, because I got high cheekbones and I had he was always teasing me about my cheekbones and stuff. So that was he thought that was funny, but it didn't. I just looked at him and everyone else just was like, nah, that ain't gonna stick, kind of thing. But I don't know. Like you said, you can't lump everyone in the same way, because that's just not fair. Unless you walk a mile in someone's shoes, how do you know what they're going through? You don't know how they're trying to cope. Remember, we were talking about the swan syndrome, innit? Some people make it look better than others now.
Yeah, that's
Some people are very good at looking like they're coping when they're not really coping, but they're so strong and they're so, able to hold it all in that you on the outside looking in may not realize that they're really going through it. Unless they choose to share that with you. You ain't never going to know.
People can make things, and we talk about this show all the time. I hope, make this show seem very polished and straightforward. And man, their show is easy to do. I can do their show.
Uh-huh.
Nobody knows the amount of effort that you put in the background.
Oh,
Nobody knows, 5 seconds before we come on the air sometimes we are in a state of total chaos. Nobody hears that.
yeah. No, but see, the thing is, because we're real and we like to keep it real, as I say, as you guys say, 100, right?
Yeah.
We'll tell you when we're having difficulties, and we didn't maybe need to tell you that, but we could tell you because life, things happen that
Right.
are sometimes beyond your control, but okay, going homeless, as far as I'm concerned, I just want to say this, I don't think that people should have that go beyond their control. But you see, if you can't get a decent job to pay your bills, yeah, that is a distinct possibility, isn't it?
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and yeah, and Link 7, K-Rose, I must say this. I think I've mentioned this to you before about the homeless spikes. Remember I told you about these spikes? Now, people, I have the article for you guys to see at ask-avani-show. Go there because we're going to post this, right? I want you lot to see it, and I call it homeless spite, right? Because I ain't being funny. As far as I'm concerned, it's where the government and society in general, they don't have compassion for people that are homeless. But excuse me. But it's their fault why they're becoming homeless. Because if a person can't get a job, okay, then they don't have money to pay for a house or a flat to keep a roof over their head. So that's what happens. They end up homeless, innit? And then when they're trying to find somewhere to just keep themselves warm in a little cubby hole or in a little doorway, if these spiteful governments and councils keep putting these spikes in the corner, how are you supposed to even be able to try and just huddle there, even if you know you're not going to be there all night? But you're just trying to stay away from being under a bridge or somewhere like that where someone can mess with you, innit? Because you don't want to be out of sight, out of mind, because somebody could try and mess with you. There's all sorts of things. I don't even want to think about the things that could happen to you if you end up having to go, away from public areas where you could feel a bit safer. Because this is the problem. This is why I have a problem. Because the government keeps cutting the grants to places that help homeless people.
Right.
The shelters and things like that. They keep cutting it. So hello, but yet they're saying, oh, we don't want people to be homeless. I don't even know if you saw. There was on the news a couple of months ago now, the two footballers, I think it was Gary Neville and another guy, I can't remember his name now, and they're buying a hotel to renovate, okay, but squatters moved in, right? But rather than chuck the squatters out, what they've done is they've agreed that the squatters can stay while the building work is going on, and they said as long as you look after the building, we won't evict you. Now the squatters are obviously very grateful for that because it means that they will be out of they won't be on the streets during these winter months. Right. When it's really, really cold at night. Now, isn't that a kind enough thing for those footballers to do? Because they could have had them evicted and they could have said, we don't want you in our building, come out. Kind of thing.
Well, but it's a win-win situation because their building is not going to be vandalized, and the people that are there are definitely going to take care of the building because they want a place to stay. Yeah. And so it's a win-win for them. And then they also know that, hey, we're on a clock, and so we've got to be out of here by a certain time, and so that gives them time to find something else.
Exactly, and to try and sort out their lives, and but at least they know that at night time, when most other people are in their home and sleeping, they may not have a proper home, but it's a roof over their head where they can stay dry and warm, which when you're homeless, that's all you're caring about. Right. Because you're just trying to stay dry and warm and not get sick. Because when you're on the streets, you're more likely to get sick as well. You're going to get sicker faster because you're out in the cold in all weathers. It's hot. I mean, it's bad enough being out in the cold when it's a cold night. But think about it when it's raining, when it's snowing. Who wants to be out in the cold in that weather? That's even worse, isn't it?
It's just something where they may, you never know. They may have created a whole new way of helping people. As buildings are being renovated, because now they may move to another building that may need to be renovated, and they'll stay there until it's done. So that's
exactly, and it keeps out people that shouldn't come in there, like people that want to vandalise the building while it's in the process of being renovated and stuff. Because they're there, it's less likely someone else with a worse intention is going to try and break in, sort of things. And they started to say actually over here, I've seen it in a couple of councils. I'm sure people have seen this in the news over here. More councils like I think it's Manchester and places like that, they're saying that they're going to let the homeless people stay in empty buildings. Obviously, it's not fix for homelessness, but if it keeps someone who is homeless off the streets in the short term, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Right.
Obviously, what they need to do is build more homes. To come on now, we all know this. They need to build more homes, but realistically, because they didn't build for so long, it's going to take a long time for the house building program to catch up with the need. So there's always going to be people struggling. That's why landlords and that can take liberties, because they know how many people need a home. And when you finally find somewhere, they will just